Every October since 2011, Retro Movie Geek has brought you the spooky side of retro movies. And this year is no different. So, a haunting we will go, as we dig up classic tales of ghosts and hauntings that are 20 years old or older. But remember, we spoil the hell out of every movie we cover. So consider yourself forewarned. Spooky Flix Fest starts now.
It's the kind of house they don't build anymore. A relic of a time when the world wasn't in such a hurry, when there was still time for a little charm and elegance. It has stood empty for a long while, and at the price, it is a bargain. For a growing young family, it is almost too good to be true.
What do you think?
I love it.
James Brolin, Margot Kidder, Rod Steiger in the Amityville Horror.
God's peace in this house.
Get out!
Hello?
Hello, Kathy. Father Delaney, there's something very important.
What do you want from us?
What's all going wrong? We have to do something.
I'm coming apart! Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
28 days after the Lutz family moved into their dream house, they were running for their lives. What happened to them is an experience in terror you will never forget, and you will believe in the Amityville Horror. From the best-selling book that made millions believe in the unbelievable, the Amityville Horror.
Welcome to another spooky. Oh, really, Peter?
Peter,
Okay.
the building.
Okay, and for those that are just listening to this is completely lost on you. But if you're so inclined, you go check us out on Mom and Pop Video Shop. Oh, I believe we have an extra special guest. Let me finish my intro and then I'll add him. Welcome to another Spooky Flix Fest here on Retro Movie Geek, where we're keeping things creepy, kooky, and spooky all October long. In this episode, we're talking about Amityville Horror from 1979. And joining us is the great Darrell, don't call me late, Taylor. You there?
Oh, I was black people late. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So, Darrell, Ash is with us. Can you hear me?
Hey.
There he is. Hi. So, Darrell, just so you know, it looks like your head has been chopped off and has been set on a table. So, maybe you're going for that. This is Spooky Flix Fest. So,
Well,
I don't know. Okay, we'll do that.
For
The disembodied head, and then I get Peter's beard noise.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're
Sorry.
nothing if we're not the height of professionalism.
all
Ash.
we need is like a creepy white girl to just stand behind you, Joel. and
Oh,
scare
that's
you.
true. That's true.
Yeah, and that's
Maybe it could happen. So we are covering Amityville Horror. That is why we're doing this. This is the first official episode. If you're as you're hearing this and or seeing it, Peter, you can do this the whole episode.
Yep.
We have done an intro theoretically. And this is the first episode that we have a guest for the 2023 Spooky Flix Fest. And as I was telling Ash before we started, this is the first official Spooky Flix Fest episode with a guest that we've ever done on video.
Wow.
See?
Yes.
It's all about the first.
And Ryan Reynolds was great. He was great in the movie.
Oh, well, you like Ryan Reynolds in this? Yeah.
Yeah, he was wonderful. You know,
I've seen the remake. Nice try.
I didn't even bother.
I wouldn't bother. I honestly remember nothing about it other than that he was in it. I don't even remember who played his wife. Dude, I don't even remember. I don't remember any of it, man.
you know what? I can't remember. Yeah, I actually can't remember who made his wife. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Why are you sitting on the floor, Darrell?
He's not. He's being his costume.
I'm in my recliner.
Oh, okay. I just thought that if Joel puts a banner over you, we can't see you.
No. The beauty of this is actually. Thank you for the reminder, Peter. I forgot my welcome. Wait,
there we go.
Welcome to Spooky Flix Fest. By the way, you liked it, Peter? It's got a V instead of a W. Get it?
Wow.
Welcome. Oh my God. The production value of this is skyrocketing.
I know, it's amazing. It's
you want to hear a synopsis?
I would love to hear, hold on, Peter's VHS synopsis.
Yeah. And it's incorrect too, which is just hilarious.
That's the best. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. The beautiful 3-storied colonial in Amityville, New York seemed like the dream house that George Lutz and his wife Kathleen had always wanted. The fact that the previous tenants had been brutally murdered there didn't disturb their unsuperstitious couple. But as soon as the Lutzes and their 3 children moved in, a series of terrifying and inexplicable events began. When the local priest tries to bless their home, he develops red welts all over his body. Incorrect. Cold winds and eerie sounds range throughout the house. Menacing eyes glow from their barn window. From the barn window? What?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And the very walls of the house seep with a strange ooze. After 28 days, the Lutzes decide to escape from this nightmare, but will it let them leave? Based on the shocking true story, the Amityville Horror has become the ultimate haunted house story of modern times.
Before we continue, Peter, something I realized, and I owe our wonderful guest a apology. So Darrell, and being fashionably late as he was, and then me kind of saying, "Oh, look who's here! It's Ash." I realized I didn't officially introduce you, and I also didn't really officially introduce. So I'm Gilman Joel. If you've never listened before, of course we have here Darrell.
What?
Diabolical Darrell, and that way we went with last time. Was it diabolical? Yeah, diabolical.
I try to think about every year when we do
Double D.
It's
the double D's here, and Pumpkinhead Peter.
Yay!
And Ash is back.
Hello.
That's right. So we were discussing before we started, Ash. So you were here for The Howling and for Blackula. So you've done 2 Spooky Flix Fest. So this is your 3rd one.
Yes.
And that is awesome because we love having you.
And
You are
Ash
always
is
a
actually
pleasure.
sitting out front on 112 Ocean
I know.
Avenue.
She's so dedicated. She actually went out to
There.
Amity Island or wherever. No, Peter, I just said Amity Island like it's
I
Jaws.
know.
You did. Well, Ash, don't go into the house. Don't go in there.
Oh, I won't.
Actually, Darrell, you are the physically closest to the actual Amityville, right?
And I know not to go. Yeah, and I
Okay.
ain't going.
Do you guys remember that Eddie Murphy bit? Was it in Delirious?
Yep.
Or where he talked?
Sorry,
Yeah.
honey.
He talked about the black family that goes. And that was oh god, that was great. Yeah, because it's true.
Sorry, honey, we can't say it.
By the way, I watched this with my kids, and
This
we were
one?
like, we were
What?
we were like 10 minutes in, and they're like, "What is wrong with these people? Like, why would you stay?" I was like, well, I did the suburban dad thing where I'm like, well, guys, they've got a lot of money invested in this property.
Yeah, there is a lot of that actually, which plays in, which I kind of think is cool.
Yeah. So anyway, not to completely derail. So Ash, I just wanted to officially welcome you because it's always a pleasure to have you here. I say we get rid of the VHS there and we do a little movie talk. Let's talk up this movie. So Ash, when did you first see
Look, there's one now.
Amityville Horror?
Ooh, I think so. Confession, I actually saw the 05 remake first because Ryan Reynolds and
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
chopping that wood without a
He was
shirt
he was
on.
he was jacked in that. He was like Deadpool jacked, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, anybody can get that body. It's
But like for the OG, the 79 version, I want to say I was in high school
Okay.
because I remember like Bravo, they used to show like 100 spookiest horror scenes, blah, blah, blah. And a scene from this movie was on. I was like, oh, let me write down my notes. So I found a copy of the movie and I watched it. So that was probably like maybe like 15, 16 years ago.
Okay. All right. That's right, because you're a youngin.
yeah, it's young and
Yes, indeed. Peter, I'll go from the youngest to the most seasoned.
That'll work.
Yeah. Or the oldest, whatever you want to cut it. Peter, when did you first see the Amityville Horror?
See, I don't really remember. I didn't watch it in the theater because I would have been 11 and I probably would have died.
You'd have been 23. You were 24. Acknowledge it.
Sure.
I was 11 in 79.
Okay.
I don't remember. We watched this on VHS. We rented it, and it scared the shit out of me watching it that first time. And all the subsequent times basically has scared me the most. I was talking about it yesterday with my wife after the movie was gone, and I got goosebumps just talking about it. So,
okay.
Oh, I see the smirk on your face. Is this going to hurt me?
Just because you can see me now doesn't mean you know what I'm thinking.
I got a hunch.
You know what he's thinking.
All right, Darrell, when did you first see this movie?
I saw it on cable, I think. I don't know what cable system.
Were you a kid?
Yes, it had to be. Yes.
As if we're not kids now.
I didn't say emotionally.
Okay.
Physically, was he a child? Yeah. Okay.
Emotionally and physically, I was a child at the time when I watched it.
Okay. All right. Did it scare you?
Hell yes. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, quite a bit. My mother had it on as well. She would watch it periodically.
Because she was a good woman, again.
Well, she watched a lot of these horror movies, and it scared me. And I watched it myself, and it scared me even worse.
And then did she lean over and go, hey, honey, just so you know, we live very, very close to the actual
day trip.
Hey, Mom, where are we going? Shh, just sit back and ride.
You'll be surprised. I guarantee you'll be surprised.
My mother would do stuff like, she would say stuff like, if you don't get your grades together, I'm going to leave you.
Oh,
Yeah, I know all about that.
Hey, by the way, you want to know the Swedish title on this movie?
Oh, please tell me it's amazing.
It is actually. It translates to The House That God Forgot.
Oh, that's actually a good title.
Ominous.
That is very ominous. I like that. That's creepy.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's a better title. I'm going to say it. That's a better title than the Amityville Horror. Because Amityville Horror, but again, always screws me up because I think Amity Island with Jaws. As a kid, I used to get the two. I was like, is it?
I don't know why you ever did that.
I did. Amity and Amityville. As a kid, I thought they were the same place.
No,
not quite.
I know they're not. But for me, my earliest memory of this movie, I must have been like 9 or 10. I didn't see the whole thing, but I remember it was either a pro. Yeah, a couple years ago, yeah. And they were doing a promo on network TV. I was at my dad, staying with my dad. So my parents were already getting divorced, or they were divorced, because my grandmother had a house in Winter Haven. I remember I went there, and it was playing like on a promo, and it was the scene where the thing hits the kid's hand. That scared because I was about his age when I watched it, scared the crap out of me. So I didn't, and I finally saw it. I want to say I was like you, Ash. I was in high school, I think. So this would have been the early 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there for me. And then, and I remember it freaked me out, but what freaked me out even worse is I read the book. Have any of you, I already asked these two. I don't think they have. Have you ever read the book? Oh, that book scared the crap out of me because it's worse.
I think I've read.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you know what it is because like when they talk about Jody, and we'll get into all this, but the kid's little secret friend in the book, the whole pig thing is described, but it's like, because it's a book and you're using your imagination, it's so much more creepy. Like how like the dad says, like he sees it up in the window, like hovering above the kid's bed or something. It was super creepy. That book's good.
Have you heard Brolin talk about how he read? Because when he was first offered the role as George Lutz, the script wasn't really all done yet. So his agent said, read the book, which he did.
Yeah.
And apparently it scared the shit out of him. So
do you think it scared him more than his marriage to Barbara Streisand?
Oh, ouch.
Wow, too soon.
We were just listening to Meryl to Streisand before.
I'm sorry.
Memories. Never mind.
Yeah. So, like I said, I saw it in high school-ish, that time period. I remember liking it. I don't remember. I remember the book scaring me more. That's the main thing. I remember that I liked the movie, but the book legit scared me way more. Like it almost gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
I mean,
the mind creates
indeed
worse images.
Indeed.
It is fucking distracting to have Night of the Living Dead in the background.
Oh, sorry. Should I block it partially?
No. I enjoyed the movie, so no.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let it play. You guys, when you get bored listening to me, you can just watch the movie. See,
sure.
That's part of my plan. So, Ash, did you know anything about the backstory about the real place that there actually had been a murder there and all that? Did you know that?
So, after watching it for like the first time and all that stuff, like I did a little research. I did watch the documentary that came out. I want to say like 2013, something around that.
Was this the one with the kid? Was it one of the kids?
It was with one of the kids. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I remember watching that.
And I was just like, it's on Max too.
What the hell?
It might be. Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, so is this legit or like what? Like, what's the real story of this house?
Yeah.
But watching that documentary and just seeing how like it's emotionally messed him up, I was like, yeah, something went down.
Yeah. And here's the thing: two things could be true. It could be they exaggerated it, exploited it for money. That could be true. But there could let me put it this way. Anybody that wants to be, I'm a skeptic and I don't. Okay, you go spend a night in that house by yourself. I wouldn't do it. No, I don't care. I do. I'm one of these people. I'm a
creepy places, but
I'm a trust but verify kind of person in that I do believe that there are many things we can't explain. Yeah. I also believe that at the end of the day, it ain't worth it for me to realize how wrong I could be if I decide to be skeptical. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. Not worth it. I've seen too many horror movies.
The murders took place. That's a no-brainer. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Enough.
A family with children, everything, all died there by one of their own. Not just like a stranger snuck into the house. That's scary. But dude, your own kid?
Yeah.
That's
there's
so
been a lot
jacked up.
We just had that happen in New York again.
Did you?
But this was in a upper class, one of those co-ops on the east side, I think it was. But a man, he murdered his wife, 2 kids, and then killed himself. They found him last week of this recording.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? I think I read about that. I'm not good. That's another address we should put down. Don't go spending a night there.
It's like that story of was it? I was going to say Lutz, but that's this movie. No, why am I brain farting? The stepfather, John List, Liszt, I think, is the original story was based. The fact when you find out the stepfather that was based on this real dude who killed his whole family and didn't kill himself, just disappeared for like 30 years. That is terrifying.
Yeah,
that is so scary. By the way,
worse when you find out it's your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Or no. What's worse when you find out it's your husband? That's what's worse. Or your dad. Like we were. So my wife and I finally caught up on Mindhunter. We're almost done. We're like the last episode. So I don't know if you guys watched. I know Darrell watched Mindhunter, right? Ash, have you watched Mindhunter on Netflix about the behavioral science?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's really good.
Same.
Darrell, you liked it, right?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
They're not coming back.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Now that I've watched almost the whole thing, I'm very satisfied coming back. But because we're watching that, and they have like the whole BTK little snippets of the BTK guy as he's like making his preparations and stuff, and like how. So we started going down the rabbit hole of watching documentaries about that dude. Like, and I know we got to be talking about Amityville here,
Don't
but
do that.
scares because that idea of somebody you can't even pinpoint, like, oh no, he's like, I wasn't abused. No, I just wanted to do what I did, and I did it. Oh my God. You want to find a reason, right? So, like for Amityville, the fact that the guy, I'm sure people were happy to embrace that when this guy said, I murdered my whole family and the house made me do it, voices in the house made me do it. I bet you there was a good percentage of people who were like, well, thank God. At least we know why. At least we know why. Because the other explanation that he just did it is so much scarier at its core because that can happen to all of us. And that's what makes it so terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It just takes like one thing to make you tick or convince you, and it's game over.
Yeah.
And I can't help to think it's like, okay, you know, this happens.
Oops.
It's
Sorry,
like, you know, this happens in the house. Why not tear down the house?
Yes. And then, you know what's funny? You say that because they do that.
They've changed the windows.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if we're being honest though, those windows straight up make it look like it has eyes, and that's the problem.
No.
Those are the worst windows. And we have some houses even in like near us where I'll drive by and they have that style. I'm like, why would you keep that?
Yeah, I think I actually
Why?
a couple of years ago I sent a photo to you, Joel, with the house we have here in town that kind of looks like it. It's super freaky.
It's a style.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Is it called colonial or something? Is that the style?
Yeah,
it's colonial. Yeah.
Did the bank claim the house when the family left?
I think in the original, but there are people that live there now. They've been there for I think like 10 or 20 years, and they claim.
I mean, I don't. The people in this movie that we're talking about, I can't remember if. Because it says at the end, but I mean, you got to. I mean,
you left.
No, but they did just leave.
That they never reclaimed the house. That's what I'm saying. They say that in the movie, but is that true?
Yeah, but we don't know for a fact, right? We don't know for a fact. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
I have a double DVD edition version of it, and there's on the second disc there are a couple of documentaries and from History Channel, and there is actually one where they interview George and Kathleen Lutz. I mean, they said they got divorced later, and they gonna sit and talk about it. But again, since Jay Anson, who wrote the book, and the Lutzes, and you kind of don't know how much of it is just a fabrication to make money, and probably it was. Because
there was something between the two of them. I do remember reading years ago, there was something between the two. They had issues with each other about the money or something, or the book or whatever, and they were fighting about that or whatever. So there's a little bit of, something to it.
Yeah, I think George got
from the crazy stuff.
A bit of the money from the book.
But I will tell you what is true.
Right,
what is true? Have you looked at a picture? I did this while we're watching the movie to show my kids, because obviously I'm a sick SOB who wants to mess with my kids. I showed them as we're watching the movie. I showed them a picture of the real George Lutz, the guy who James Brolin's playing in the movie, and I showed him a picture of DeFeo, the kid who killed his family, and they do look
a little bit like
similar. They look like they could be related. And I'm sorry,
all white people look alike to me.
To be fair, especially all white dudes with beards. Yeah, in the 70s. Yes, 100%. Actually, my kids said that. They go, it's because they're both got beards. They both
and long hair.
It's that easy. It's just that easy.
Yeah. It was. That's creepy. I know it's a coincidence. Like I have that logical side of my brain that comes up with all the it's just a coincidence. But you know what? I still wouldn't stay in that damn house by myself.
No.
So
no. I mean, they were both men and they both walked and they had arms and all that.
Yes. They're both bipedal. Yeah.
But I still. I'm not trying to figure shit out. I'm not trying to go in there and
nope.
None of my business.
No, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That house can tell me get the fuck out, and I'm like, okay.
Don't tell me twice.
It could, hey, you know what? Hey, Darrell, it could say it politely. It could say like, "Please leave." Yes, sir, or man, whatever. I'm out.
Listen, that house could say, "Hi, why don't you come in?" And I'll be like, "You know what? I'm out." Don't
I have
if the house says anything, that's the rule. If the house says anything at all to you, you don't go in. You leave.
So the house that me and a friend was in, and something touched the back of my neck, I should have left.
Yes.
But you didn't. But you
okay.
did you?
Now I will tell you,
we had 2 stories more to explore, so we went up the house.
it was a 3-story house.
Yeah. We was in the basement.
Were you?
You went into the basement.
Yeah.
Peter, how many horror movies have you seen? How many horror movies have you seen?
I went down
who's on that weed?
I went down into there was it's not here anymore. It's torn down, which was kind of like an abandoned slaughterhouse, and down into the basement, small stairs. You went down a small room down in the basement with like hooks on the walls. And we were down there. And then my friend said, he was standing in front of me, and I said, what if you see a pair of boots at the top of the stairs? I said, I will eat my way through you and the person on top, get out as fast as I can.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you, Peter, for proving, breaking down barriers here on the Retro Movie Geek podcast, that no, not all white people are alike, because there's no way in hell. You couldn't pay me enough.
Are crazy.
There's that. But you would not get me. You would not get me. I would stand outside and be like, yeah, that's cool. You guys have fun.
To be fair, though, you and your children go to alligator
places. Yeah, we do that a lot. There's a lot of alligators. And
we're not that far away from the crazy stuff.
I also have to mention that on set, the day when we ventured into that abandoned thingy there, it was in the middle of the night. Just saying.
Of course you went in the middle of the night. Of course you did.
It was having those hooks on the wall. It was The
worst part is it was 5 years ago. That was only 5 years ago.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Because we
why not?
We were heavy into urban exploration back in the day. So everything was empty, and then we were there.
He's not wrong. He's actually very true. Yeah.
I'm in an urban setting too. I ain't going in crazy places.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could tell, by the way, the 2 people here. Well, I don't know how big your town is, Ash, but you can definitely tell the 2 people that do not live in a very urban space like a big city, because the whole urban exploration.
None of you would go to
Darrell living in New York. Although I feel like, Darrell, you would get murdered. Like you would. I mean, I feel like going urban exploring, like through some weird underground space in New York City, like you're just asking for cannibal mutants or something to.
Yeah, my people don't work. We don't last that long in those type of settings. If you look at history, we don't
history of cinema. Yeah,
because then y'all white people want to split up and then go somewhere else, and then the rest of us is left somewhere else. We know that deal. We know how y'all do.
We don't.
Let's split up. Yeah, and all the white people go to the same place, and then they leave the black people behind. I know what happens. I've seen this. I know the rule.
What's great is my kids haven't seen obviously nearly as many horror movies as I have, but they've even seen enough that when we watched, I showed them Deep Blue Sea. Do you remember Deep Blue Sea? Okay, and they, as soon as they saw LL Cool, my youngest son is massively into rap, and I've been obviously getting him into all the old school stuff. So he sees LL Cool J, he goes, "That's LL Cool J." I was like, "Yeah, it is." He goes, "Oh man!" I was like, "What?" Exactly. He goes, "He's gonna kill first," because when they set it up, he's like, "They're gonna kill him first." I'm like, "No, wait, why don't you see what happens?" See, they were so happy.
That only happened because they had to use the rules. They had to kill a black person. So they killed
Samuel Jackson. Spoiler alert. Yeah. So he wasn't the first, though. He wasn't the first dude to die. He wasn't.
No. But a black person has to die.
Okay.
You see what I mean? When you see 2 black people in a horror movie,
just know that one's gonna get it.
You ain't gonna make it. One of y'all ain't gonna make it.
But by that logic, if there's like 7 white people and all but one of the final girl dies, I mean, right? Right?
Wait, so there's a quota here?
Yeah.
A quota on murdering people in movies. Yeah.
Sure.
So back to Amityville.
3:15.
So 3:15 a.m. Which, by the way, I remember that scaring me, because I remember in high school I would stay up late, and every time it got around that time, I was legit anxious. I remember that.
Damn, I get up.
Story. The house we used to live in as kids.
Oh
my God.
There was something, and I don't know what, but every night around 3 a.m. when you were awake, it was kind of like
it's the witching hour.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was kind of like a thump. throughout the house or right out the house. The first time it happened, I thought, okay, so yeah, sure. Second time, okay. The third time, I started noticing the time. I thought, oh, okay, this is nice. So
you were in an old European house, so you know that every one of those is haunted.
Basically, yeah.
All of them.
Pretty much.
Well, Dad was the only one who actually saw it up there.
He saw something?
Yeah.
What did he see? Don't leave us hanging. What did he see?
He woke up in the middle of the night and kind of saw like a blue mist thing in one of the corners of the room, which used to be my bedroom back in the day. Nice.
Oh.
So, and he was up middle of the night with the curtains trying to make, okay, maybe the moonlight. And he was like this and all of it. And then the day after he switched bedrooms.
The worst stories you hear is when somebody's like, yeah, I was at an old hotel, you know, in some old bed and breakfast. It's like 200 years old. And they wake up and there's somebody standing at the foot of the bed.
Nope. No.
Why? And why? I would immediately walk downstairs.
That's why you go to.
I would immediately run downstairs.
You remember in cartoons when you have that outprint of their bodies?
Yeah. In the door, yeah.
That would be me.
Why would you go to an old hotel anyway?
I've done that. I've stayed at like old bed and breakfast
he's rich.
before.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah. Okay.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
Well, one of the honeymoon was one of them. My wife, when we got married in '96, we stayed at one.
Probably
to go to
your wife.
I know, Darrell. To make it worse, we went to St. Augustine, which is like the oldest city in the country.
I've heard about St. Augustine.
Yeah, it's the oldest, like 1600s. Yeah, the house we were in was old. Yeah, it was old.
So
Yeah.
Why y'all don't like new shit, right? Why you can't go to new shit? Why y'all always gotta go to old?
Oh no!
shit?
Well, we would did some Airbnbs when my wife's grandmother was still alive, and she lived in this little town called DeLand. It's in Central Florida, and there was this one house my wife picked, and she didn't ask me or the kids. All my kids on the way up are like, "How old's the house, Mom? How old's the house?" Oh, we get that thing was at least 100 years old, and it was two-story. Actually, it was
really.
They had converted the attic. But there was like no door to the little stairway that went up there, and it was set up like it was somebody's broom, but nobody was living in it. And we would. It was
neighboring ours is over 100 years old, and there's one down the street that's more than 100 years old.
I just love how your kids are like, first question, how old is this place?
Yes, they know. They're like, I'm not playing with this. Oh yeah. Yeah, my oldest is like, no, I'm not. I'll sleep in the car. I don't care.
You're teaching them well.
Yeah. They're like, Dad, we're not going to make
your
dumb mistake.
I think they're learning on their own because the two of them keep taking them to old places.
True.
We don't want to sleep in this dump, Dad. We want a new place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, no, it was a really nice house. It was Airbnb. It was a nice house, but to make it worse, I had to like walk her because OCD kicks in. I'm walking through the whole house every night to check every window, and it was they had these big curtains, and you just know somebody's gonna be standing behind the curtain, right? You know, or you're gonna reach around to check the lock. Something's gonna grab you.
Yeah, like the grandparents' houses,
like that,
where everything is cold black outside the window.
I mean, the biggest rule is no fornication in the house. Like that sets it off. Like once you do that,
you're done.
That's when the evil comes to get you off.
Yeah, the evil says, "I'm not getting none. Ain't nobody getting none." And it's
y'all don't piss me off. Gas to go.
Any of those culture guys is another one. When you see a scene of the mom and dad
scary movie,
that's it.
Scary movie. In the scary movie, the ghost gets it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Well, that ghost was a freak. That ghost was
well. He was a mad freak when I'm a ghost.
All right, so I'm going.
Huh?
Yeah, so 3:15 a.m. and let's go ahead and maybe discuss a little bit about behind the scenes.
The poster just scares the shit.
The poster is, for God's sake, get out.
And that house is just. I'm going to say this again. This movie is just terrifying. I love this movie.
Yeah, it's.
And go down. Look at the
what?
The director.
His movies.
No.
See,
his face.
Oh wow!
Just look at him.
He looks like a truck. He looks like a truck driver. He doesn't look like a director.
He kind of looks like Bob Hoskins. To be honest,
he drives a truck.
Yeah, he looks like he drives a big rig for sure.
Yeah.
So he directed Cool Hand Luke. I didn't know that. Okay, that's cool. I didn't recognize his name at all. Other than
he did the Drowning Pool with another Paul Newman movie too, and Brubaker. Remember that one with the prison movie? Brubaker with God, what is his name? Robert.
I know the title.
Yeah, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did the
Pope of Greenwich Village. I know that one as well.
I remember that.
Love and Bullet that's the Charles Bronson movie, I think.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you had the synopsis or the filmography up.
Yeah, I did. So, and then of course, I love that George Lutz gets a writer's credit. Right, because they use the book. They use the book. I'm assuming that's why.
I do that.
Yeah, well, they actually didn't. They had Sander. Oh, what is his name now? Sanders. What was it? Sander Stern.
Sander Stern. Yeah.
Yeah, because they kind of did. It was supposed to be a TV movie, or something. And they kind of didn't like the script, so they had him rewrite stuff of it.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Peter, because now that you say that because I'm not look. I like this movie. I don't want to sound like I'm bagging on this movie. Okay. But
the face will come back on.
I do. Did you get that from Alice, Sweet Alice? Because it looks like
no, I don't know. This is one of the kids' Halloween masks from like 2015.
Listen it though, Ash. Put it back on, Peter. Put it back on.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
The Alice, Sweet Alice.
It does. A little
He's
bit,
a raincoat. He should have a little yellow slicker on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It might be. I don't know.
But okay, do you hear what I'm saying though? Because I do tear on the tube with you. I obviously don't have a problem with TV movies. Okay,
no, I know.
I'm saying though, it has a TV movie vibe.
Yep, it does.
Yeah. It does.
Other than a little bit of sex, and then that one scene where and I always remember that because I always forget about it, and then as soon as I'm like, oh, that's right, when the axe, that real quick moment where he hits Margot Kidder in the head with the axe, and it just kind of explodes. Yeah. But
the nightmare.
Yes, the nightmare.
Oh, her fucking! You know the first nightmare we see where she kind of just sits up in bed and screams. She was shot in the head or something like that.
Yeah.
When she just screams. Yeah. Oh my god! The first time I saw that, I almost jumped out of there. Oh wow, that is, and it gets me every time because it's so subtle and she just sits up and screams.
Yes,
and it's god damn it!
A lot of bed scenes with them. Yeah, it's a lot of bed scenes.
Well,
a lot of bedroom scenes.
Yeah, but it's Margot Kidder, okay? So come on.
No, it was good. I mean, but I happen to notice watching this it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but watching this, it surprised me how many bedroom scenes they have because the director kind of uses the bedroom scenes to show time passing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hairstyles have changed. His beard gets longer. His hair, he grows his hair out more.
Yeah, and it's only 28 days. It's not like they're there for 3 years.
Yeah. Well, it's a month. Yeah. But it's something how I think it was kind of smart though. But how it's smart how they use certain scenes to show how time is passing and how they're changing as the time is passing.
Yeah,
especially the father and the daughter. Like those are the two that seem to be affected the most.
Yeah. Now, James Brolin, or as we all know him, is Thanos' dad. That's basically how we all know James Brolin.
You heard that, Darrell? He referenced the Marvel movie. That was almost nerdy talk.
I know, almost. Wow. Other than this, and he was in Westworld. Right? I just said it. I go get yelled at me. I just said
no. Westworld is a good one, and
he's Jeff Winger's dad in Community, his real dad. Spoiler alert: if you've never seen Community, and you should if you haven't, because it's amazing. And then
we did Capricorn 1 with him. We're not with him.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And as I mentioned, and Darrell will know this. He was in Hotel, the TV show.
Hell yeah, he was.
Yeah.
See, Ash, this is where they lose me right here. They start talking about old people. This is old people stuff in the 80s. This is what your grandparents and maybe your parents will watch, and you'd leave. That's what they're talking about right now.
Look at the color of the beard, man.
Hotel was the shit.
Oh, but you have seen the car, right?
A long time ago. Yeah. It's kind of like Duel, right? Where you don't ever see the driver, or there is no driver. It's kind of like Christine, right? There's no driver.
I saw that in the movie. My mother.
Really?
My mother. Yeah,
the car? Wow.
Yes.
You were pretty young for that. Was it like 79, 78, somewhere in there?
He ain't no punk, man. Listen, Ash knows. Black parents take you to see anything. As long as it ain't got nudity in it,
Your eyes. Cover your eyes.
Yeah, cover your eyes.
Cover your eyes. Right.
Yeah,
Slap your eyes.
That sounds like my wife with our kids. Like she pretty much will watch it, but it's like, all right, make sure you fast forward past the. They of course get mad. You're like, come on, mom. Come on, mom. By the way, Ash, I got 3 teenage boys, and mom's sitting there like, okay, you need to fast forward past the, and then they're all like, come on.
See, we didn't have no fast forward.
Yeah.
We didn't have fast forward. They just threw their hands in front of your face. If they hit you hard in the face, it didn't matter. Yeah. But they would just slap your eyes closed. That's all.
That's what you get for looking.
Yeah,
exactly. That's all.
It's like it's your fault. All right.
It is.
Margot Kidder, the great Margot Kidder, which my kids are like, she looks familiar. I was like, well, we had watched they watched Black Christmas for the first time last year. So I was like, well, Black Christmas, and they're like,
did they watch Superman?
They have seen Superman. They saw Superman, but it's been a long time since they've seen the 78 Superman. A long time, like years.
Okay.
Yeah, so. A long time.
But you know what's funny? One of them said that reminded me, and that as soon as they said, I'm like, oh my God, they're so right. They go, I thought it was Karen Allen for a second. I was like, actually, yeah, they have a similar look and vibe. Karen Allen. I actually think Margot Kidder could, not that I ever want anybody else to play Marion in Raiders, but she could have been a Marion.
She
would have been good for that. She has that same kind of. Yes, they could have.
Yeah.
Rod Steiger, classic actor, of course, In the Heat of the Night, which we covered.
Yep.
Not that. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it's probably 3 years ago.
It probably was a couple of hours ago.
Oh, me.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, he's great. Did you ever see was it The Pawnbroker? It's it's a low budget an indie movie from the late 60s. It was like one of those
rings a bell.
Oh, but we talk about old kids, huh?
Yeah, it was black and white. I saw it in high school. I remember I really liked it actually. It was this very good drama. Actually, I must hold on. I can't remember. Now I want to check. So everyone's gonna have to wait on Joel while he looks up The Pawnbroker.
Oh, you also remember End of Days, the movie with Schwarzenegger. He was also in that one. By the way.
See, you know what? End of Days is one of those movies that I just never remember. Like I know I've seen it. I know I saw it with you guys, but I don't really. Yeah, I know. I just don't remember it being that memorable. Hold on. Where'd it go?
In the Heat of the Night. There it is.
Yeah, in the Heat of the Night. I think it was
Chicago. It's a good one.
Yeah, there it is. 64. The Pawnbroker.
Yeah, there.
A Jewish pawnbroker, a victim of Nazi prosecution, loses all faith in his fellow man until he realizes too late the tragedy of his actions. And that's right. It's a Sidney Lumet film, or Lumet. Lumet. So it was a good movie. I remember that being a very good movie.
I don't think I
see, Darrell, I do watch good obscure movies too.
Every now and again.
Let's see. Okay, what is this thing? There we go.
Oh, wait, wow.
I didn't do it. It possessed. It did something. Yeah, Don Stroud, who other than this, what was that, Ash?
I said it was Jody.
Oh,
Jody.
Don't say that.
No.
Don't say that. Yeah.
Don't play like that. Don't play like that.
Yeah.
Don't play like that.
So Don Stroud, other than this, and I'm not going to click on his, what else do I know him from? Because I don't feel like I know him from anything.
Well, I know him from at least... Search and Destroy is a Canadian thriller thing about Vietnam vets, which is really good. And he was in... what was that? Hang on, I wrote it down somewhere. Death Weekend, which apparently was not a good enough title in the States because it's The House by the Lake.
Okay,
he's in that one too.
I think I've heard of both of those titles.
Yeah, but it's Brenda Vaccaro. It's a revenge thing. Yeah,
it's
that's brutal as all hell.
It's kind of like a Last House on the Left kind of vibe.
Yes.
Kind of.
Or I Spit on Your Grave. It's like that kind of like.
Yeah. It's it's kind of a rape revenge thingy. Gotcha. He was also in Carnosaur 2. If that
Carnosaur 2, yeah, boy.
We're talking low budget. So,
yes,
no, but he's been in a ton of stuff. So
okay. Murray Hamilton, who I know from two things. Obviously, he's the mayor in Jaws, of course.
Hello. And I'm holding up my Jaws mug for people.
Because my wife and I have been rewatching every single episode of Golden Girls. He is in an episode of Golden Girls as well.
Of course he was.
A couple, actually.
Are you really going through Golden Girls?
Yeah, we're in the last season now. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, but how are you calling us? Like, listen, I love Golden Girls too.
Oh yeah,
so I would watch it again. But how are you calling us?
Yeah, I know.
Watching old people stuff, and you watching Golden Girls.
I can explain it. Number one, despite the average age of the stars of the show, that show rather has a very like a edgy vibe to it. And I may have watched episodes of it with my grandmother, and so I have like so did Heather, and they're with her grandmother, so we have like a nostalgia.
Okay, you know, like some of the stuff I have watched with my grandmother and my mother, and you would still.
But you willingly want to watch things like Dynasty and Falcon Crest.
I did. Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dallas.
Being?
Yes.
Yeah.
JR was the fucking man.
I was an A-Team, Knight Rider, like that kind of stuff.
I watched that too. That came on before Dallas and stuff.
Thinking, what the hell did I sign up for?
Ash is like, damn, they're old.
Yeah. Right now we're in old.
I have an old soul. It's okay.
You go. Okay.
I can relate to some things.
Okay. You know a couple of things we're talking about. All right. Yeah. No. Golden Girls. First off, I honestly forgot. That is a dirty show.
I watched Empty Nest before that, which was.
I watched Empty Nest. In fact, hey, Darrell, real quick sidebar. I am mad. This is, by the way, why physical media. I'm more and more on the side of screw streaming. You can't find Empty Nest anywhere.
I know.
I've looked.
I don't know why either.
I'm going to hypothetically and allegedly have to get a bootleg version in order to watch that show.
Why, it's not out on DVD?
None. No.
What? Not in streaming, not even an old chat like Pluto TV and all that. No.
None of it.
I'm surprised Tubi doesn't have it.
Yes, I would watch. I like Tubi. I actually like Tubi a lot.
I do too. Let me see.
Yeah.
Tubi
sounds like a challenge for me because
do it.
I'm oracle when it comes to this stuff.
You are the youngin among us. You have got the best chance of actually finding something these three old fools
you won't
can't
fall
find.
asleep before you find it like we will.
Don't give up. Like, screw it. I told Heather, I was like, after we finish Golden Girls, I wanted to go right into Empty Nest, and I can't find it nowhere. I'm mad. I'm legit upset about it.
Do you watch it at night, like how it came on TV?
Yes, I did. I think I saw more Empty Nest episodes than I watched Golden Girls even.
Well, Empty Nest was like what 9 o'clock. I think Golden Girls was like 9:30.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm that old. I think about that too. Like I think about all.
Have reruns of it because I watched Empty Nest a couple times.
Yeah, I know it used to be on TV all the time. Yeah, and it's like you can't find it anywhere.
And I don't have cable anymore, so I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I gave up the game.
Yeah, it made me mad. I was like, screw you, streaming. Oh, you got to.
I know. It should be on the Golden Girl, like whatever Golden Girls is on, you should have Empty Nest on there.
Empty Nest.
It's on Hulu. That's where I've been watching it.
So you can watch it on YouTube. There's a channel on there.
But it's probably like people copied it off their VCR.
It's actually, I don't know if you.
I couldn't say it. You're don't worry about your virtual background. Plus, I don't know how YouTube will feel if they catch any of the music.
Oh yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll email you the link.
Oh, hold on. Hey, you'll allegedly send me the link.
Allegedly,
you might have the link. Yeah. You might.
My inner lawyer, my inner defense attorney will come out. So allegedly, Ash, you saw and found Empty Nest. You hypothetically.
I don't remember nothing, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, we are. I watch enough of these shows now. You know what the number one rule is? I don't care if you are as innocent as the day is long. I don't care. You know the first thing you say? I would like to see my lawyer, please. May I please see my lawyer? That is the first words that come out of anybody's mouth. Hey, my sister is Florida Department of Law Enforcement. You know what she told me? First thing you do, I'll talk to you after I talk to my lawyer. That's what you do. You do not. You talk to a lot. Anyway, I digress.
So 3:15. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
3:15 in the morning. Yeah, we did do that. Murray Hamilton, of course, he was again the lawyer in Justice. It is funny because he has a similar attitude in this one about dismissing everything Rod Steiger. It's like Rod Steiger is the Brody character trying to warn him about all the bad stuff in this house, and he's like, "Oh, come on."
That whole scene actually with the priests arguing it's a good scene.
Yeah.
Rod Steiger is he is trying so hard to explain that a family in my parish are in trouble.
Yeah.
So
see, I wasn't raised Catholic or anything, so I remember as a kid when I would see stuff like this, and then a priest would cuss. I remember thinking, they're allowed to do that. they're allowed to.
I think it was weird when they smoked.
I smoked, like The Exorcist. Yeah, they're smoking. They're taking a couple of shots. You're like, they can do that, but
even though it's not in the Bible.
I was saying, but they can't do the nasty. but they can.
Well,
they can do. Okay, all right. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I remember as a kid that confusing me. That was all.
Yeah. Confusing as a kid.
Okay. So let's see here. We got this kid, Casey Martel, is one of the. Actually, I think the son gets a hand crushed, and he was in E.T. I remember him from E.T.
I think so. Yeah.
I know he was in other stuff, but that's the main things I remember.
Bloody Birthday, Whitewater Summer.
Oh, Whitewater Summer. Yes.
Yeah. He didn't really do much, and neither did Amy, but she was in Kingdom of the Spiders and The Entity, which we're doing later.
That movie freaking.
What, The Entity?
The Entity?
No, Kingdom of the Spiders.
Kingdom of the Spiders? Yeah.
Hold on. So Darrell freaks out, not over the movie where a woman is horrifically assaulted by some demon. No. It's the spider movie that got him.
Have you seen Kingdom of the Spiders?
Can't we see
the amount of
It's
Shatner, yes.
Yeah.
That I have a thing with spiders, man. It scares the shit out of me.
I can't do it.
Oh, Darrell, this year I'm helping my cousin out, my older cousin who got me into horror back when we were kids.
Hell no.
I know he's doing one of these. He in his neighborhood, somebody's got a big backyard. They're doing one of these big walk through haunted houses, and he's asking me to participate, which I am stoked. And the opening thing is a tunnel with just a bunch of spider stuff hanging down, and you have to like walk.
Halloween 1 year here. Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, you did it. Okay. Hey, guess who I get to be? Guess who I get to be in the haunted house?
What,
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. He's a classic serial killer, and he has the same haircut as me, and he wears a hockey mask. Did I give it away?
Jason.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah, baby. I'm getting to be Jason.
Florida man.
I'm the Florida man, Jason. That's the worst.
Yeah.
The Florida man, Jason. Because the humidity makes him doubly angry.
Halloween, we had the whole in through the front yard, and basically the hallway into the kitchen was filled with spider cobwebs and plastic spiders, which was cool. The kids loved it, and you kind of forget it, and then you get up in the middle of the night to take a leak, and with an arachnophobic father like me, it's creepy. And okay, here we go. I'm going to remove everything I said earlier. I actually like spiders, and I would own tarantulas. They actually sell them at our pet store.
No,
I would own them. The only reason I won't is because they're very fragile. Like if they fall down, they die. They're very fragile. So I would not.
So lie if I saw one. No. I would drop down.
No, hey Darrell. Even worse is in what is now the video shop. In the back corner, when we first, soon after we moved in, there was a straight up beautiful black widow with the red on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Beautiful black widow.
It's beautiful. It's a red is gorgeous. I'm sorry, you're out of your mind. It's beautiful.
White people crazy segment is over. Can we back to the movie now?
I felt bad about calling the pest guy because they warned me. They're like, look, if she lays eggs, your house is like infested. I was like,
yeah, dummy. Yeah.
Dummy. I like some.
You know what you say to that?
I like, get out.
Yeah.
That would get me out. Spiders, no, I'm good. Because spiders eat mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes because I live in Florida.
No.
But they.
Yo, son, get the fuck out. I'm telling you right now. Stop it. Let's go back to the movie.
All right, back to the movie. Let's see here. Who else? Anybody else?
The little kid who plays the daughter, Amy. I think she was the little kid in Kingdom of the Spider who's sitting on the bed, surrounded by.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Stop.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but she actually didn't mind it because she actually liked the spiders. So, but it's sad that I know that
she's white. I know she's white.
It's sad that I remembered the Shatner's name in that one, Rack Hansen.
That's a good name. That'd be a good for Kingdom of the Spiders, or if he was in a vintage porn movie. Either one, that name works.
No, you do both. You
Yeah.
can do both.
So
I don't think there's
the-
anybody else that's of
the
vast
creepy
importance.
Helen Shaver.
Is she the
Well, we gotta
friend?
go down.
She's the friend, yeah, because when they
Yeah,
kind of
she's a good-
the
yeah,
weird
she's good
voice at the
stuff.
end.
Oh yeah, where she tells him she acts like she's possessed when she's looking in the hole. Well, see that, by the way. So it wasn't enough that the book presumably might have allegedly taken license with everything that happened,
sure.
but this movie then goes to another level because I don't remember it being in the book. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't read that book in 25, 30, whatever. I remember many years. It's been 30 years. But I don't remember the whole basement thing. There being a separate room. Maybe there was. I don't remember that like being a thing.
She was creepy though when she's sitting there. The look on her face. Oh, oh.
Well, when she was like, I ain't getting in that house. When she left,
Oh yeah. But then she ended up going. She ended up going.
Yeah, because she.
yeah, because she's trying to save the family, but
Yeah.
she was like, let's go to that house.
Were they really that good of friends? They were business partners. They were real friends.
And remember what we did earlier this year with her in it?
With that same lady?
No, yeah, the voodoo one with Martin Sheen.
Yeah,
The
Believers.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Believers. That's
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
How
I
did you
think I
not
recognize-
remember her?
I don't remember her. So, was she the love interest?
wrong with you?
Was she
Yeah.
the love interest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. She had those things come out. You talk about how you love
Spider.
spiders.
Yeah.
She had
Spiders
those
out
things
of her.
coming out her face.
Oh.
Have you seen that movie?
All of a
Ash?
sudden, Ashes.
The Believers.
Yeah, with Martin Sheen. It's got Martin Sheen in
and
it.
Helen Shaver.
It's
Watch
cool.
it.
It's like
It's a
like a cult
voodoo
thing,
thingy, yeah.
voodoo and all that.
Yeah.
Now,
It ain't like a cult. It was a cult.
yeah, it's a cult. But what I love is like we're gonna keep talking about spiders. All of a sudden, Ash, her little box, just gonna be like, no longer on the
I
call.
don't blame her. I don't blame her. I wouldn't-
Left the studio. Oh, so I saw her take out the earbuds.
Yeah, she's like, I'm
Right.
done.
I
I'm
can't.
done.
Right.
I'm done.
Neither can I. And weirdly enough, I'm the one they call when there's a spider in here. I have to remove it. The guy with arachnophobia. But yeah, there you go.
You'll be all right.
Yeah,
I wanted to keep a Black Widow as a pet, Peter. Let's keep this in perspective. All right.
So apparently we're going back to white people are crazy segment.
Yes.
Yes.
Or just this one. Maybe it's just bald people.
No,
Wait,
probably.
I know, but never mind. Darrell's like, excuse me.
I'm not crazy like that. No.
All right. So,
Oh, by the way, what's with scroll up a little bit.
okay.
Or scroll down.
Which way? What do you want? What are you looking for?
Under Helen Shaver.
Go side to side, scroll.
Yeah, Val Avery, who played the cigar smoking.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
What? He was sitting outside and just smoking cigars, snacking while watching the family fall apart.
Okay. And am I the only one who also thought it was a little weird that this detective I get it. There's a horrific thing that happened there. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's like this cynical, he's like that kind of classic cynical, hard edged detective type, right? He's seen it all. He's seen it all. There's nothing that's going to phase him. He's seen it all. So he sees James Brolin, he sees George Lutz, and he goes, okay, they look very similar, weird, but it's not like he thinks that that's the same guy. So what is his motivation to stalk him, to stalk the whole family? I don't get that.
I don't know.
There was no reason for him to do that other than the guy looked like the other guy. But okay, it's a weird coincidence. I just think if you're a cynical cop, you're not going to be. I mean, you'll be like, "Oh, that's weird," but you wouldn't be like, "Oh, I got to follow the wife to the store." Why? It didn't make any sense.
And also, when the door is blown out of the house, basically, and he arrives at the house, he pulls out a brand spanking new cigar and lights it before he goes into the house. I was like, you take that fucking stogie out of here.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
No.
And then he walks around. No, I didn't see any windows open down there. And how come this is blown out and this is blown out?
Yeah, that's real helpful. You know what I mean? But think about it. So he acts kind of skeptical about all that.
Yeah.
But yet, obviously, something when he first sees George Lutz, he gives out like, "Oh, what am I seeing?" Okay, I get that would give you a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. You'd be like, but
to actually sit out front and watch the house,
and not just follow George around, but he follows the wife around.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any if he thought, you know what, it would have made more sense. And I know it's now it's going to really deviate from the book, like as if they didn't already do that. But I would have thought maybe if they had set up where he began to suspect that they were going to try to do something underhanded, like fraudulent, related to the fact that there had been murders there. Like if they would have had to set up a whole bunch of stuff. I know for that. But that would have made more sense to me. But even then, why would a homicide or whatever he is detective do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
that didn't make any sense to me.
Bit weird.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
So Ash, since you had seen, had you seen this movie since high school?
Bits and pieces, but not all the way through till just recently to prepare for this recording.
Okay, so
like this movie is something I don't really revisit often.
Yeah.
Now I've seen some of the sequels and some of those off the chain sequels.
Yes.
But yeah,
I've only seen I've seen 2 and 3 definitely, and I maybe have seen 1 or 2 of the other ones. But I think Peter.
One where they do kill the
hang on. I read this. Hang on. Listen to this. As of 2023, a total of 35 films bearing the Amityville name has been produced.
Now, how many are considered? No, wait. How many are considered sequels, though, directly?
With varying degrees of connection.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, let me say it like this. And then, Darrell, I want to go back. Darrell, we didn't hear what you said, so I want to go back to you, but I was going to clarify this. So, like, you got Howling, right? And you got Howling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however many, 10, right? They're not connected, but people think of them as being sequels.
Yeah.
Right, to the original. Same with Children of the Corn. Unless you get into the remakes, all the way up through a certain number are the sequels for those original movies. What are the original number? I think it's like 9 or 10 for Amityville.
Amityville 2, wasn't that kind of a prequel?
It is. It's more about the family. And it's got Paulie from Rocky in it. It's the dad. It's the abusive dad. Darrell, what were you going to say? Darrell, what were you going to say?
What was the one where you actually do see that they murdered the family?
That's 2. That's 2. That's 2.
Okay.
Oh, you get to see it in this.
It's got Diane Franklin. Yeah. It's got Diane Franklin from Last American Virgin, and Better Off Dead is in it. She's by the way, there's a whole creepy like incest thing between her and her brother.
That's what I was about to ask you too. There was one where I remember with the brother and sister hook up.
It's super sleazy, man. Part 2, you should watch it because it's effective.
I did watch it. This has been a long time ago.
It's a creepy. But I actually think 2, in my opinion, freaks me out on some level worse than this one does because there's something about it. It's just got this
even more creepy. Yeah, because they do kill the family.
Yeah, you see it. That's the whole point. Yeah.
I kind of think because I've dipped into the backstory of this. Well, maybe not the Lutzes so much, but the DeFeo killings.
Yeah.
And because that whole thing is just weird in itself. And I read somewhere that maybe he had help, that his sister was in on it too. The older sister. I'm not sure because I read this years and years ago. But that whole killing is just because nobody heard anything either.
No. That's what's so weird. You'd think the neighbors would have heard like 6 gunshots or shotgun shots going off or whatever it was. Yeah. Or rifle. I don't remember if it's a rifle or shotgun. But yeah. So Damiani, I think I said it right. The Italian director directed part 2. Tommy Lee Wallace wrote it, and it's got a great cast. I mean, Burt Young, and like I already said, Diane Franklin. I mean, it's got a great cast. But I remember this one legit. I think this one actually probably did freak me out even overall more than part 1 did.
Because this is kind of the precursor to it, right?
Yeah, it's a prequel. It's what happened leading up to the But then part 3 is when you get that's what the whole that was the 3D one. Yeah, this one I remember seeing that. That was hilarious. But like you get Amityville, the Horror Escapes, Amityville 1992. It's About Time. I think those are considered part of the sequel lineage.
Amityville.
Yeah, The Awakening, New Generation. See, I think when you start getting up into the later ones, Amityville Curse. I think that's a legit one. But I think some of them. Like once you get past the remake of 2005 or whatever it is, I think all the ones after that aren't necessarily considered.
No, cashing in on the name.
You're just cashing in on the name.
Yeah.
Amityville dildo.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
There's Amityville dildo. Amityville.
So is it like hold on? Is the dildo like possessed from the? I think it was left over in the house, and then they got it like they found it in like a garage sale.
I think something like that. I can't remember because I try to erase it. from my memory.
I bet.
Oh,
I bet.
I'm searching it now.
Because there's one of them, and it may be the Horror Escapes, or it's 1992.
Amityville Vibrator?
Vibrator, yeah.
Oh, Vibrator. Oh, my God.
2020. Kathy moves into a new home and soon comes into contact with a vibrator with ancient evil powers.
Oh, my God.
No.
See, like Amityville Dollhouse.
Now, that one, Dollhouse, was the first Amityville movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
They used to show it all the time in the afternoons on my city's public station.
Oh, see, I love that kind of stuff. I love it.
So that was that was my first one.
I don't remember if it was 19. Yeah, I don't remember if it's 1992 or if it's The Curse. It's one of these where it's like it's not even Amityville the house. It's like a mirror or something from the house, and it carries the evil with it. Is that the one?
Time.
Is it a? Is it a clock?
Covered it I covered it on my show.
Is it a mirror or is it a clock? You're right. It is. It's a clock. Yeah.
Because there's a weird incest situation in that one too.
And actually, Tony Randall did it. He's the guy that did Hellbound Hellraiser 2. Yeah.
Which is a good one.
Yeah, I mean he didn't direct it, but
I'm still an Amityville Vibrator. I'm going back now.
There's Amityville in the Hood, Amityville Karen.
Oh my God! The Karen one came out not that long ago. See, I don't consider that to be a direct sequel. Yeah, he was. That's right. Tony Randall, who directed About Time, directed Hellbound Hellraiser 2 and DEFCON 4 and Children of the Night, the Fangoria movie we covered. So
that was a weird one too.
Which one? Children of the Night. Yeah, that was really weird.
That was a vampire movie, right?
Yeah, it was.
Check it. Right. I just dropped something. There's the VHS of it. There it is. Darrell, I know. Darrell was very impressed with my VHS collection.
Super impressed.
I have all those.
Power Rangers.
What's that?
He directed 2 episodes of Power Rangers in Space.
There you go. This is, by the way, now generationally where you get to lose me. I'm like, I know it existed. I never watched it.
What do I put into show notes for this episode? Golden Girls.
Golden Girls, Amityville Vibrator.
Oh, yes.
You got to put
there's
that.
a new one coming out called Amityville Glory Hole.
No.
You are shitting me.
They just announced it. I don't know any of the synopsis yet.
Isn't there one of them that does something with is that in space or something?
Glory Hole can mean different things.
In space.
There's one called just in Amityville in Space.
Yeah, that one came out a couple months ago. It's on Tuesday.
What makes no sense? It's hilarious. It makes no sense. I mean, it doesn't. It's like you're not even trying. You're not even trying.
Listen,
right?
After you get past the 20th movie, probably nothing makes sense anymore. Yeah. Until you get to the vibrator part, I suppose.
Buzz.
Amityville Glory Hole? What?
Oh my God.
Well, that can mean two things. It can mean that, and also the Glory Hole is in the British version. It's kind of like under the stairs. Kind of little room. Yeah.
Is it kind of like how for them the word fanny does not mean like a cute little tushy?
Yeah.
Got it. So I think the important question we have to address. We'll start with our wonderful, beautiful guest, Ash. Does this movie hold up for you?
This movie doesn't really scare me.
Okay.
I need to read the book, but I think it's a pretty solid movie. I was doing research on it, and I was reading how some people interpret it as like the true horror of the movie was that it wasn't the house being possessed, but it was just financial burdens, just like trying to be just a family perspective of the movie.
Yes.
Like that was the true horror. And I was like, yeah, that does make sense because throughout the whole movie, they're like stressing over money.
Yep.
Like, how are we going to afford to get this house? The brother loses $1,500. The caterer doesn't want to take a check. He's all about the cash. Like it was just money. I was like that. Yeah, I can see it. Like, especially like just the burden of being a house owner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I think
I mean newlyweds too, and they're just
the newlyweds, and it's a blended family, right? It's not his kids. Yeah. And so in 1970, look, I'm about to $1,500. If I lost that now, I would be angry, like super upset. But in $1979,
oh yeah,
I mean, that was like that guy's year's salary. I mean, it was probably real. I'd be like losing $15,000. I mean, that was bad. That would be bad. But yeah, I gotta say, for me, I'm with you. And maybe it's because I've seen it too many times. It doesn't really scare. Like some ideas in it freak me out, but the movie itself doesn't scare me. I like it. I enjoy it, but I revisit it once every like few years. I think I end up seeing it for some reason, or at least part of it. But yeah, I don't find it scary. The idea, and again, I would never go in that damn house in real life ever. No, couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah,
but it doesn't scare me.
I think like the only two things that scared me in the movie were the flies, because just seeing all those flies together freaked me out.
Oh.
Yeah, I hate
And then
flies.
when the window comes down on the kid's hand,
Yeah, that is
because
freaky.
that shit
That hurts.
Yeah, it really hurts. And then you can't get it off. It's like
No.
the entity's holding it down, like they can't.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have been passed out. I would have been like, oh. Like forget screaming. I'm passed out.
Hanging onto it like this.
Yeah. Hanging down on the floor. All right, Darrell,
Yeah.
did it hold up for you?
Yeah. I mean, it still kind of freaks me out. The whole thing with the house thing and it freaks me out. I'm
So
scared.
it's not just because you live close to the actual house.
It's not just because I live close to the actual house, but yes, it scares me. It scares the shit out of me.
Okay, all right. So if I asked you as a friend and I pay for your gas
No.
to drive by, you have to go in. I just want some pictures.
No.
Can you give me some? Okay.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared.
All right, fair. Actually, because you are my friend, I wouldn't actually ask you to do that. So we're clear. I'd ask
right,
Peter.
because-
I'd ask Peter. Where is he at? There he is.
Oh, he'd
I'd
go
ask-
in the house and stay there.
Yeah,
Oh,
Peter would
wow.
spend the night, do video for me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hi. You don't know me, but I'm actually from Denmark, but I live in Sweden. Could I stay here for a night or two? You don't have to be here.
I'll stay in the attic.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Why'd you redo the windows, you bastards?
Peter, I think I know the answer to my question, but I'll ask it
Yes.
anyway. Does it hold up for you?
Yes, it does. I mean, this is, and it has always been one of my favorite horror movies because it's just, I don't know, it's the whole vibe, the whole creepiness, and also with Margot Kidder and James Brolin, because they're really good in this one. Even though when you see interviews with them, they had two completely different approaches to acting, which kind of, they do laugh. I've seen a fairly new interview with them. They kind of laugh it off, but they kind of crashed with their acting styles, but they work. Their chemistry in this movie is really good. And then James Brolin, you see him go from all that happy newlyweds and everything is looking rah and everything, and then he just turns into this man who can't stay warm, and just his whole demeanor changes. So yeah,
his tidy
it holds up.
Oh yeah,
I thought
I
exact
said the same thing. My kids, I said, do we have to keep seeing him in his tidy whities? Do we have to keep?
Yeah, because it's James
That's
Brolin.
how our underwear was back then.
I know,
We
all of it.
had no choice. We had
All of it
no
was.
comfortable underwear.
It scares the shit out of me.
Boxer shorts have been around.
What was the thing with Margot Kidder with the one sock up? Was she?
It was sexy. I mean, sorry. Wait.
Yeah, I
Even
know.
when she went to go see the child, even when she went to go look over the kids, she had the one sock up, and
That was weird. That was a little weird.
They were kind of in the middle of in front.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what it was? Okay. I couldn't tell if she was getting dressed or undressed, and she only got halfway done. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Well, she came out of the thing with the one sock.
Yeah,
and the
she did.
What is that? It's just
Do we care? She looked good,
sock
man.
people.
Who cares?
Six freaky sock couples.
It's a fetish.
Don't judge them.
Probably.
Don't judge them. You don't know what.
I'm judging their kink, their little sock kink.
All right.
Well, I was wondering what was with the mirrors in their bedroom, because you couldn't really see. First of all, I wouldn't have mirrors at all near my bed. Not like your ceiling.
My dad's old house.
Yeah. Because there's something about mirrors and the darkness and everything, and waking up in the middle of the night with a mirror.
Well, I don't want to see me. I don't want to see me.
So Ash doesn't. So Ash, my house, I lived with my dad in high school, all through high school. The guy who lived there before us was like, I guess some big bachelor who threw all kind of parties. My dad's entire ceiling was a mirror, the whole thing. And when we moved in the bedroom was a jacuzzi.
Crazy.
And my dad took it, but just like, I don't want this in my room. And everybody that like my cousins, everybody's like, why doesn't he want that in his room? So I want to smoke.
That's like some American Psycho type.
Yes.
Yep.
It's even worse because in the living room, every 3 feet there was a phone jack. So I don't know if he was like a bookie. I don't know if he was a drug deal. And my neighbors said that before we moved in, that all these like fancy cars would come up there for like 2 minutes and then leave. 2 minutes and then leave. It was weird, man. It was, and then on top of that, that house may have been haunted as well. Which is a whole other story about the weird crap that happened in it. Yeah, it was weird.
So you had a
Organized crime,
tax evasion house.
Yes,
which is also a porn house, which is also
maybe a bit haunted. And we got. You know, now that I say it out loud, dude, my dad, because we didn't have money. We didn't have money. He already got bankrupt, divorced. He had no money. We got that house on a deal because the guy was like desperately to get. So it was we couldn't have really afforded that house when it originally, because like originally this is like 1989 or 88. It was good.
Go into this backstory of it because this sounds like this movie.
I know. I'm realizing it now that I'm saying it out loud. Yeah, it was like 19. But I was a kid. In my defense, I was only like 12 years old when he got the house. But it was like 88 or so. And the house, I think originally the original ask price was a little over $100,000, which in $88 was legit. I think they got it for like 70 something, maybe 80. And it was I mean, here's the thing. It was like a ranch house. It wasn't like one like this one. It was a ranch house, but it was like 2,800 square feet, had a swimming pool, and had like, it was decked out. Like this dude partied. Partied. In my bedroom, an entire wall was a mirror.
Yeah.
The entire wall was a mirror.
They was out there doing cocaine. There's probably cocaine everywhere. They're probably just like, he probably owed money to the Colombians.
In the concrete of my dad's bedroom, we pulled back the carpet, safe in the floor.
Of course, to hide all that drug money. It
was legit weird.
Can we spell organized crime?
If this was a movie, they would have came and some people would have came later and tried to kill all of you.
Oh yeah, they thought we were still there. Yeah, if I found out Henry Hill, when he was in witness protection and lived in that house, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Check on it, man. You could do that. You know,
I did. I looked it up. Ready for this? I finally found out who the guy was. He's actually passed away. He was a professional magician.
What?
Like a Las Vegas?
No,
I know. I'm serious. Like he was a legit professional. And when also we first moved in, there was a box in my room in like the closet or whatever. I had like small books and stuff in it. And you
found a skeleton of the lady who didn't disappear.
No. It was there was like an 8x10 photo of, I can't remember her name, but it was a Playboy playmate. She was wearing like a bathing suit in the picture. And I'm like 12 or 13, right? So, and it was autographed to him, like, hey, Rick, thanks for a great time. And then it was like Denise or something. And I remember, let's just say, I may have kept that picture for many years. Throughout high school.
Parties that they were doing out there.
Oh my God! I can only imagine.
Wow,
that's a movie in itself, actually.
Did you do a black light? Did y'all ever do a black light?
No. Ooh, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Like on the ceiling. What is that?
Yeah, it would be everywhere. It's on the walls.
Why is the shag carpet so stiff? Why is that?
There's sprinkles all over the walls.
Why is the entire house glowing? Why is the entire freaking house?
Yeah, they really like. Yeah, they liked the black. They had that black light spray, and they just sprayed it everywhere. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I'm really glad we didn't.
No mirrors. Thank you. I've seen movies.
Yeah. All right. So
behind mirrors. Nope.
Well, things that I am happy to have here, if it isn't a haunted mirror, Peter, is Ash. I'm so thankful you came. I'm so happy you were here. Please tell everyone where they can find you on the interwebs.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on again. I've always have a great fun time when I get to talk to y'all. But you can find me on Twitter is it called Twitter anymore? Is it X? I don't know. It's one of those. Yeah. But, you can find me on there at Ash to Ashes. That's Ash with the X in the middle, Ashes. You can also follow my show's page, Rise from the Dead podcast, at Rise from Dead Pod.
There you go. They should do that. And we'll have it linked in the show notes and in the description below this video. So be sure to check all of that out. Darrell, where can they find you?
You can find me. You can look up Taylor Network of Podcast. You can find me there, and I don't know if X is it X? Is it Twitter? I don't know what.
Yeah,
Call it Twitter. What are they gonna do? They can't stop you. Call it Twitter.
Voice123 on that, and in Instagram, Darrell Taylor.
You're not on Threads, Darrell?
I don't even understand what Threads is.
I almost accidentally ended up on it because of Instagram, and I posted like one thing, and I haven't been on it since. So there you go.
Of course.
You youngins.
It's been like kicking and screaming just to get me to go back onto things like Instagram. So I'm like, I'm not doing another one. Screw this. Peter, where can they find you?
Yes, sir.
Where can they find you?
That was the short answer. No, here on Retro Movie Geek, or they can go to Down on the Tube, where no, not here. Not here.
Where you freeze up because you just froze up. Is that where they can find you? Is where you froze up?
Yeah, you kind of
Okay.
You kind of all freeze up on the den.
No, it's just you. It's your connection.
Here,
but go ahead.
Down on the Tube, or they can go to the Undead Wookiee podcast.
Okay. Cool.
Everybody froze up.
Well, we can hear you, so you're good. We got it. We got everything you can be found at. I can be found Tearing the Tube as well.
There.
And Jay of the Dead's new horror movie. Okay. I think there's a delay, kids. So I can be found Tearing the Tube, Jay of the Dead's new horror movies. Of course, check that out. Let me see what else. Of course, Mom and Pop Video Shop, which if you're watching this video, that's where this video is posted. So be sure to check. Be sure if you are watching this, be sure to like, share, subscribe, click the little notification bell. So all the kids say. So do all that good stuff. But I think the most important part. Any final spooky words?
Leave the house.
I heard in the background. What did she say?
She said, leave the house. She said, get out.
Get out. Thank you for listening. Get all the spookiness you can handle this October by subscribing to Mom and Pop Video Shop on YouTube. You can also find Retro Movie Geek on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you dig up your podcasts. The spooktastic music you heard at the beginning and end of this episode was provided courtesy of Ed and Gavin and their band, Midnight Syndicate. We'd like to thank them for the use of music from their albums Gates of Delirium and The 13th Hour. Want to sink your ghostly claws into this and all Midnight Syndicate's beautifully macabre music? Then go to midnightsyndicate.com. And remember, spooky is as spooky does.